you having been in the finals, can you talk a little bit about that first blink and what that's like for a team to either be the one that blinks and changes and how that can change things for you, or it can be an admission of inferiority sometimes?
Like, I mean, listen, I've been in finals where I felt like the opponent was just more worthy. You know, I mean, my first time going to the finals in 2007, you mentioned the Spurs.
Yeah.
You know, it's not, when you play the Spurs, not only are you trying to defeat the Hall of Fame players, you're also trying to defeat the Hall of Fame coach.
Can I stop you there? Like, was Pop a spy in the military? Like, I'm serious.
Yeah, for sure.
He spoke Russian.
Yeah.
He came from the Air Force Academy.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I think he was on his way to be an agent
for
the United States government.
Yeah,
and you're trying to win a basketball game against him.
Yeah, for sure.
I always felt like there was a little bit of a disadvantage or a hill we were trying to climb just with Pop himself.
Yeah, for sure. You can sense it. Like, okay, I have to guard Tony, Manu, Timmy, and then you see, okay, maybe they may be a little tired this quarter, maybe. And then you look to the sideline and you got Pop over there, and he's like on the floor as well, but standing on the sideline.
Right.
So when it comes to like who blinks, and
well, I think before you get to the blink, they never beat themselves.
No, never.
To your point prior, their habits.
Yeah.
They were resolute about their habits, so they never beat themselves, and that is exhausting for the other team.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Absolutely. When you go into a series, versus a Gregg Popovich team, versus a Bill Belichick football team, we have to beat them.
Right.
They're not going to beat themselves. You know that. So you're already mentally drained before you even get into it. It's like you start to put more pressure on yourself saying, we got to play perfect basketball.
Right.
Which is impossible.
Right.
But you put that extra pressure on you because they're not going to beat themselves. So that's where we talk about the blinking game. Yeah. It starts right then and there.
That's a great point.
It starts right then and there saying, okay, how can we make the greatest team or the greatest players at this moment, because this is what the finals is all about. It's the two teams that's endured adversity, have withstand, the long marathon of a season, and now have put themselves in a position where the sprint happened and they're still here. How can you make them blink? And how can you see and know there's maybe a little small chink in the armor? Right. And once it happened, it's like a fighter, in the 10th round who's been going blow for blow, and he finally sees that other fighter kind of stumbles and hit the ropes.
We've all been there.
We've all been there. And I've been on both sides.
Both sides.
I've been on both sides. I've been a fighter that hit the ropes and was staggering and, maybe hit the ground, standing 8 count, whatever. And I've also been the other one that's pressed the fighter into the corner.
Right.
And that's just the challenge. That's just how it goes.
It's a great example or a great portal into leadership too, though, because when you're the team that's stumbling, standing 8 count, that to me is what great leadership is. It's not the talking. It's not 30 and 10. No. It's reliability in your approach, mentality, fight, and spirit. Yeah. Right? You got to be able to win when you don't have your fastball. You don't have your best stuff. You got to find a way to win as a leader, and you have to try to drag your team and make them believe that we can win even if we don't have our best stuff. So it's often there's adjustments happening. Then there's standing 8 count. And then they overcome that. Now the series has changed again. Talk to me a little bit about, usually a team blinks, there's an adjustment, then there's a counter adjustment. And then at some point the adjustments stop. And it might be after those first 2, and we go back to let's do what we do best. And now it's back to like who wants it more. And all those things, the spirit, the connectivity, the will. That now the game is about that. We know each other too well.
Right.
We've made the adjustments. Yep. You're not going back there. Yep. We got over that. We're not going back here. You got over that.
Right.
Now it's just back to who wants.
Yeah, you almost look like you're competing versus yourself at that point.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, you're basically looking in the mirror like I am competing versus myself.
I will not give up.
And I can't until it's over and done with and zeros on that clock. I am competing versus myself.
Right.
It's not even me and you anymore. It's not even about the opponent.
Right.
He knows exactly what the hell I want to do.
Right.
I know exactly what he want to do. I know the sets, I know the commands, I know the calls, I know everything. How can I not allow myself to waver too much to the left, too much to the right, too much up, too much down? How can I stay right here,
Focused,
and as that leader of the team, also project that to the guys?
Yeah.
You know,
for sure.
that is the ultimate when it comes to those moments right there.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate.
Man, I would give anything to be in your shoes right now.
This cover's right around the corner.
Going back to the playoffs, the best time of the
Listen,
year.
at this point in my career, like, I mean, the regular season is fun, it's cool, all right, but I just only care about the playoffs.
It's a drug.
Yeah, like, the moment, you know, I'm all about the process, and I will always be about the process. And now to get to this point, but the postseason, when you have an opportunity, if you have a chance to win it, and you know you have the team to have a chance, doesn't always result into winning it. But if you have a chance, and you know you have a fighting chance to walk into this ring and say, we can beat anyone. We can beat anyone. You know we have to play as close to perfect basketball as, you know, obviously we know that, and it takes a lot of luck in the postseason. You know, we understand that, but, you know, when it comes to playoff basketball, man, it's definitely a drug for sure.